Anger is actually a good thing, and I'm gonna tell you why. If you're new here, my name's Lee, and I started my brand Stickly in June of 2024 selling stickers, clay charms, and button pins. But I also like to make advice videos like these that reflect things that I've learned on my creative journey. And today we're talking about anger. When we hear advice about anger, we get sentiment that we shouldn't be feeling it. But I think the important thing is to focus on channeling it into something better and more constructive. You need to learn to channel it, direct it into places that make you better as a person, and manage it rather than trying to squash it down. So here's a little bit about my story. I was working a part-time job during the process of getting this business up and running, and the owner of this place that I worked was very vengeful if you ever made a mistake. And the thing that really upset me was that if you did make a mistake, they'd tell you much later that you were making it. So you had no way of figuring out how to better yourself because they didn't even make it apparent to you. And I had heard from one of my coworkers that if you made a mistake, she'd put you in a role that you didn't really like. And it almost served as sort of a punishment. So when I had realized that the schedule had been changed and I was working that role that they knew I didn't like, I was so incredibly angry. The job itself was very stressful and overwhelming, but in this particular role, it was 10 times more that. I don't do well under too much pressure, especially in roles that I'm not very good at or don't like. So it took a toll on me and it made me really upset. So I would come home feeling pretty angry sometimes, but instead of lashing out at my coworkers and the owner of the place, I instead put those feelings into my business and all of my creative endeavors. And believe it or not, in that time, I saw the most growth in my online presence and my business, just because I was a little angry. Now, it makes me think, if I had just been comfortable and let myself stay in that position, that probably wouldn't have happened. Oftentimes when we get too comfortable, we don't have a reason to change. But I didn't let myself get comfortable because I just didn't like it that much. The anger was that strong. I recently finished this book, and despite the name, it gives a lot of really good life advice. One of the quotes from this book that ties into today's video is the following: "Negative feelings are a call to action. When you feel them, it's because you're supposed to do something." And furthermore, it made me think this could go for any negative emotion: sadness, fear, frustration. They all are your mind's way of signaling to you that something isn't working. It's a sign that something must change. So it goes to show that you shouldn't be silencing your anger. You should never try to squash it down. You're supposed to do something about it. Take action, make some change in response to the anger. In fact, you can even view it as an opportunity for change. So try to use your anger not for destruction, but for creation. If you're an artist like me, this comes really easily to you. Learning to channel your energy as a creative is probably one of the best things that you can do. And if you think about it, sometimes negative emotions end up being the catalyst for the biggest changes in our lives. Sometimes you have to learn that even though things feel bad in the moment, it doesn't always mean that it's going to forever. One day you might realize that something's actually doing more good than harm for you. You might use your anger for creative endeavors, going to the gym, passion projects, or learning a new hobby. As long as it benefits you and betters you as a person, it's worth trying. So if there's anything I want you to take from this video, it's that anger and other negative emotions are not objectively bad just because they feel that way. If you learn to redirect it and put it in the right places, it can actually be quite good for you. If you use your emotions for good, it's naturally going to yield good results. I hope this video helped you think about anger in a different way and maybe see how it can help you in your life. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.